Hello. Welcome back to my channel, Chantel Stuff. I am Audra Chantel, your hostess with the mostest. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, of course, you all know me. I'm gonna get it in with a couple great tips here and there on some finances. Then I'm gonna go into my own stuff and just have me a good time here with y'all today. I just wanted to throw out a few tips about increasing your credit score today. How to increase your credit score. So, when me and my husband lived through the economic crash of 2008 and raising our kids during that time, we went through a foreclosure. We paid our way out of foreclosure twice before we actually foreclosed, but we still eventually did, and it did damage our credit. At that time, too, we had hospital collections. I had quite a bit. I had so many surgeries. More than I can count on fingers and toes, but that meant, we had a lot of hospital bills to go into collections. Even though we were paying current ones, we couldn't keep up. So we still had some to go into collections, somewhere in the area about $5,000 to $7,000. I know to some people they feel like, that's really not a lot. It wasn't, but when you have no money, it's a lot. So, but I said all that to say this: it really damaged our score. Our score was down to like a 509, right? So it was ridiculously low. So I had to put us on a plan to get that score back up. I did write a short e-handbook on that, how to increase your credit score. I'm going to have a link to my website at the bottom of my videos, where you can go in and go to that website and purchase some of those products if you like. Some of the e-handbooks that I've already written: how to budget, how to save money, of course, how to increase your credit score. I got to cheat and look at my list. I have one, how to eliminate debt by debt stacking, which we talked about in a previous video. Just hitting on some elements in the videos, but to go into deeper detail and give you step-by-step instructions, you can grab, a couple of my e-handbooks, or maybe the whole library if you like. The current one that I'm working on is how to feed a family of 7 on $100 a week. So see, a sister had to get creative when the money was low and little, and had to make it happen. But today, what I wanted to throw a few tips out there on is how to increase your credit score. Now, I know depending on the person's credit, it's going to be a different advice that I would give. So I may seem like all over the board. Really, I'm not. I'm just going to throw out, different tips on different scenarios, right? So for the first scenario I'm going to look at is, of course, ours, where we had the foreclosure on there, and we had the collections on there. That was the only derogatory things that we had on the credit, right? So those were the focus for us. The collections on the hospital bills, now they were part of our debt elimination plan, from the debt stacking and all of that, but all of that worked together to help us, increase that score, reducing that debt, eliminating it, and implementing some healthy credit lines on our credit report. So what we did have vehicle loans, we had signature loans, like personal loans, we had credit card loans. So we did have those things on there. So we did have things positive, which we had all on-time payments on. We did have positive things on there, but it was a lot of negative that it had to fight against. So it was really, it was like a losing battle there for a while, until we got further out from the foreclosure, because it was closed. And once you have a close date on that credit report, then you're going to be able to your score is going to increase a little bit faster, because you have that close date, because now it's not really beating you up as hard. But after 7 years, then it's not affecting your score at all anymore. And after 10 years, it falls off, unless our president or our government says, we're going to forgive and knock some of this stuff off of people's credit who haven't had, whatever the scenario is, right? Because it's all different kinds of things that could happen for you. But also, once those collections, now, as we knock those off and they got close dates, it's not too many things that will increase your credit score immediately, but anything under that public records, once it gets a close date, then and like the you pay it in full. They report it to the credit reporting agencies. The credit reporting agencies put a close date for that collection on your credit report. Then instantly your score goes up. Now, can't say how many points and all that. Don't know, but it does instantly go up. Just like when they hit it instantly goes down. But in that area and under public records, that does happen for you. One thing about public records, what they started doing some years ago, when you do have open collections or judgments or bankruptcies or whatever that is on those collections and judgments, they have a verified date. Now that line of credit or collection is verified usually every month, right? Sometimes I see it go, every 60 days or 90 days where it's verified. And what they do is they give it a new verified date. They did something with the file. They contacted you. They looked at it. They worked it. They did something with your file, verified, your address or whatever they did. But you get that verified date renewed monthly, and it wakes that collection up just like it's brand new every time they do that, continuing to reduce that score. So the best thing to do to increase that credit score is to work on eliminating whatever is derogatory out there, right? And of course, we talked about the debt stacking plan and how to eliminate it in the most efficient and the fastest way possible for you. So you want to use that method in order to do that. So that's something that you can do, and make sure you keep everything else on time if you have it. That was that scenario for us. As we did that, and as we lowered our debt on our credit card too, because now on your credit card, even though we were paying on time, it was maxed the freak out, right? So before we eliminated that debt and it was no longer maxed out, it was really, really hurting our score. If you carry a balance of 30 or 40, more than 30 or 40% of what your limit is, let me tell you, it is reporting to your score that card is being maxed out, even though you still have room on it to spend. So that's just how the equation works, right? That's just how it works. So once if you have to carry a balance from month to month, you want to keep, pay it down as fast as possible if it's over that percentage, right? If you're over 30, 40%, you want to pay it down as fast as possible. Once we did that, now that is something, when it was reported, that began to increase our score as, we reduced that debt immediately when it was reported. So that helped us. Of course, as we paid it off, now we're balance payers. We do not carry balances from month to month. Matter of fact, our Visa, because we manage it so well, and we manage our debt so well now, our Visa is our debit card. So we don't use the debit card, we use the Visa. And of course, I budget and I track everything. I'm just a maniac when it comes down to that, all the spending. So the only thing that we put on the Visas is what we have cash for, period. And all through the week, sometimes it depends, sometimes 2 or 3 times during the week, I'll just transfer money from one account to the Visa and pay it off. But definitely every payday, on every Friday, I go through and pay everything that needs to be paid on that Visa that we spent, that we knew we were going to have money for, that's already in the budget. And when I say that maximizes our score, it is ridiculous. And that is really the only thing we do right now. We have no other debt. Everything is all paid off. Nothing out there for anybody. No derogatory marks or anything. And so now we're in the 800 scores, in the high 7s. Because 2 of our scores, Experian and Equifax, are in the 800s. TransUnion is in the high 7s last time I looked. So I don't look at it too often. I do look at soft pools. So I don't look at hard pools. The last hard pool score we looked at was when we were thinking about moving into our next, or purchasing our next property early. Like we're on a 3-year plan, but it was some nice deals out there on some investment properties. It's about 3 sets of multifamily units that we were going to purchase, but we decided, not that we decided against it. Like 2 people ahead of us, that person got the bid, so we didn't get those. So that's the last time we looked at it, and that was probably about, I want to say, about 4 or 5 months ago. So a hard pull, but the soft pull I always keep up with. I always make sure that we're going in the right direction. But that is one way in one scenario, if you are a person that, let's just say that you want to buy something, you want to get an apartment, you want to, buy a home, you want to buy a vehicle, but you have no credit, zero credit. Let's just say no credit is better than bad credit. So in order to get you started, some places depend on what you do. Now, we all know I work for a credit union. Not biased, like that is the only type of financial institution out there that can do go to work for you, and that you shouldn't do anything else but that. But let's just say in my experience that credit unions have been the best financial institutions that I've dealt with for business purposes, personal or whatever, right? So just saying, when you're there, your story matters, you matter, and rates tend to be a lot lower there and all of that. So you might want to start there. At a credit union, it's possible that you could go into a builder loan of a small vehicle loan, right out the gate if you have no credit. It's possible that it could happen. Definitely with a qualifying co-signer, it could happen for you. Without one, it's possible it could. Depends on your relationship with the credit union. Do you use other products like the checking account, savings accounts, the different things like that, CDs or whatever, whatever. Are you using it, the credit union? Do you have a relationship with them? It's a better chance at getting something like that by yourself. But in the event that you can't do that, you can use your own funds to build your own credit. And so, do a secure credit card or a secure personal loan, put $1,000 into your savings account, and let the credit union freeze that and give you $1,000 of their money in a Visa or in a signature loan or personal loan. So, and you just make sure you manage it properly. Like all of the things that I said before, with the credit card, you want to make sure you're doing that. If it's just a closed-end signature or personal loan where you have just 12 months or 24 months on a term, make sure you're making all those payments. If it's your first line of credit, you want to just take it to term if you can do that, right? Don't pay it off early because you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot. Because in order to build that score, you need to have that history. Your payment history is about 38% of your score. So it's a large chunk of that score. So you want to make sure that you get as many payments, on-time payments under your belt as you can, right? If you have a 30-day late, that's reported to the credit reporting agencies, and that will reduce your score. It will, on a line of revolving credit cards revolve. So on revolving lines, you could lose anywhere from 80 to 90 points with 130-day late. Now, with the regular loans, I'm not for sure exactly how many in that area, but I do know that about the credit cards. So credit cards, your credit report loves credit cards more than anything, can help your score more than anything, but they can hurt you more than anything too if they're not managed properly. So whatever you do, you want to make sure you do that. If you're a person, also, secured loans can help people who have bad credit, right? Who's not able to get financed other places because of all of those derogatory things that you have on your credit. It all depends on what it is, where you're going to be. It's so many different scenarios and so many different things that I would offer based off of what I see in the credit report. So without seeing one or seeing your situation or having you tell me, hey, this is my situation, what do you think? I can't say exactly what will work for sure and what you can get until I can see that. But usually a person that has derogatory things on there, or that's been struggling to try to get reestablished, to get that credit back in a healthy position, could use that a secure loan to do that, right? Using your own money to get yourself back on track. So those are some of the things that you can do to increase that credit score. And it depends too, like it just really depends on where you are with that credit. If you're a person that hasn't had anything in a long time, a lot of people think, oh, my credit is so bad. I buy everything, in cash. I haven't had, a loan in so long. I'm not going to be able to do anything. Well, it's worth looking at because you just don't know. At that point, most of the time I can get people financed, right? So I can get you financed and started somewhere. And usually just about anybody, it give you like a small credit card, right? Somebody give you $1,000 credit card. Somebody will do that and help you out. But it all depends on what you want to do. I know a lot of people feel like it's just over with. I have so much out there. I can't do it. Well, some of you, I may even have to say, let's wait, right? Let's wait, but let's put you on a plan to eliminate your debt first. So a lot of that has to happen first with some of those people who are very deep in, right? What I would say too is to don't run from your creditors. You know, you chase your creditors, right? You go after them and you clean that stuff up, but take your time, go one at a time, and only address them after you've saved some type of funds. So that way you can negotiate, you know, settlements, or you can get started with some type of payment plans or something like that to help yourself. But I mean, at some point, you're going to have to clean your credit up, especially if you're wanting to purchase a home, car, whatever. If you want to move forward in life, or you want to have that business credit, you have to have your personal credit together in order to get the business credit together. So those are some of the ways that you can do that to increase your credit score. I may do something on down the line later. I'll look in comments and different things like that to see what kind of questions that you have, and excuse me, and all of that, and kind of scenarios that you have for me, and then I can, you know, give more advice on how to do that. Of course, you can all grab my Short E handbook, How to Increase Your Credit Score. With it has way more details, and I've given different scenarios and things in there for you too, to look at and maybe, you know, put against your own, you know, credit situation to help you out there. But like I said, I'll look at comments and all of that, and maybe do a little question and answer type video, so I can address some of the questions that you have. That way it's just a lot easier when I have, you know, the questions coming from you, and then I can, you know, respond to those. I find like when I do public speaking and I'm speaking to a group, I just like to get the conversation going. I get kicking it with them, laughing, talking, you know, and then boom, throw the finances in there. But then after I open up the door and I allow, you know, them to just talk, man, do I tell you, that's when we really get to going back and forth and getting all that great information out there, because now I know what they're thinking and now I know what they need, and I can zero in on what it is that they need. If I don't have the answer, tell you what, sister's going to get it, right? So don't know everything. Like my daughter said, like I have a goddaughter that is 39 years old, just turned 39 years old. Excuse me, January 23rd. But anyway, what she was said to me one day, she was like, you know, she's like, Mom, I know I don't know everything. She said, you know, I'm not the smartest cookie in the pack. But then she went on to what she was saying, so I like that, so I'm going to say that. I don't know everything, and I'm not the smartest cookie in the pack. But what you need, I'll make sure I work hard to get it, right? So I'll get you that information that you need. Again, at the bottom of the videos, I'm going to be putting a link to my website, so you can go check out, you know, what I have available for you. Hopefully, you know, it's something that will help you or help somebody else or whatever. Let you know, support a girl. Listen, yesterday, let's just say, okay, I know in the other video I was saying all the stuff I was going to be doing yesterday, and I was like, really? It was 3 things. Let me just stop tripping. I wanted to really chill, right? But I wanted to clean the bathroom and put all my stuff back under the sink, and I wanted to warm me up some of the black bean soup and jasmine rice that I make, and sit and watch in my recliner some of my show, right? That was the whole plan. Okay. Big night with Chantel stuff. That's all I was going to do. But that was what I wanted to do, and it was going to be fun. It's going to be fun for me. Sorry, I just got to keep this mouth right, okay? But, so I was like, all right, have been waiting on Robinhood to give me my 1099 because I sold some crypto. I think it was in May, right? So sold some Doge. Let me tell you. I'm gonna have to come back to that because hopefully I don't forget. But anyway, so I went to do that, right? Finally got all my information yesterday. And so I was like, boom, 1099 in. So let me slip doing these taxes in before I'll do everything else and just get it on out of the way because I have been waiting so long. I like to, as soon as we get our W-2s, my husband gets his last right there at the end of the month, right? So at the end of January, he gets it. Boom. I like to get them done, get them off my back and be complete with. No, Robinhood wanted to wait forever to give the 10, not the middle of February. All right, it's your process. It's what you got to do. So sister had to wait. So that's why I had to wait and didn't get it done, because I like to do the early bird because you get the cheaper tax product with TurboTax if you do them early. So you get a nice little bigger discount. But anyway, so I had to wait on them. And I got it yesterday and decided to do it. Sat down to do it. Oh my gosh, did it take forever. Like TurboTax kept like not going to the product so I can get started, and it took me like a whole hour almost, it seems like, to just get started. And then once I got in and I got everything, all our information in, I'd be a monkey's uncle if I couldn't find that 1099B form in their forms. And it probably was just because I'm doing this stuff after work, and so I'm already tired, already had a long day of thinking, so much thinking, because that's what my job is. Thinking, talking, counseling, all that, but it's so much thinking that I just needed a brain break, right? But no, didn't take my brain break. Wanted to do some taxes, so I couldn't find it. Boy, I said, Jesus, just help me, because I couldn't find it. I almost cried. I was like, oh, help me, Holy Ghost. But anyway, I finally found it and got it done. By the time I finish my taxes, mind you, I get off at 5. Right? Get off at 5, and I probably get home probably about 15 minutes after, whatever. We live kind of close. And it took me until, I want to say it was like 9:20, 9:22 when I finally got done. My husband was encouraging me and saying, oh, baby, in the text message, I was sending him emojis like, oh, and crying and all kind of stuff, telling him I was having a hard time. And so I finally sent him that last text and was like, praising, I'm done. And so anyway, I did all of that, and so I didn't get to do any of what I wanted to do yesterday, but it was still productive because taxes are done. But on the Doge, so I want to tell you about that. My daughter, she was like, she knows that we have like our Ameritrade, and we have our stocks and ETFs and REITs and different things in there that we invest in and stuff. And so she was like, hey, Mom, you should go buy some Doge. I was on there trying to get, I said, I don't see any crypto here. And she's like, well, you have to go. She told me a couple other places where I could purchase it. So I just downloaded the app for Robinhood and purchased through there. But before I did it, I kept forgetting. And she was like, Mom, it's cheap. And they're talking about it may do something. She said, it's only like, it was like, it wasn't even a cent it wasn't even 5 cents at the time. It was less than that. But by the time I remembered, they were at 5 cents. So I was like, oh, okay, so let me go in and buy some. So I bought like $38 worth. So I had like 760 units, and I was like, okay. And I was like, you know what? Let me go back in and buy some more. But I thought that like a week later, and I was like trying to, do my purchase, and it went through and it processed and all of that kind of stuff, but it just sat there, didn't completely finish. And I was like, what is going on? So I tried to keep trying to purchase, and it just wouldn't let me do it. So, life goes on. I'm doing other things, and I'm living life, and I'm working and stuff. I forget all about that. I was trying to process that transaction. And so by the time I remember, no, I didn't even like really remember. So by the time I was alerted back to it, she was like, Mom, the Doge done went up, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. I was like, freak. I forgot about, the purchase that I was trying to make with them. So I went back in there, and mind you, that one just was over with. It just like sat there and just did nothing, and it never completely processed. But the $38 that I put in for the 700, I think it was 760 units, whatever. So it was up to like $500 and something. I said, oh my gosh. I said, why didn't I just go and put like a couple grand in there? I was like, what was I thinking? But you know, like my husband always say, and most people say, hindsight is 2020. So you know, whatever. So I went ahead and it cashed out though. I just went on and sold my stuff and got my loot because I was like, I don't know what this stuff gonna do because I don't even really know about all this stuff and like whatever. And I'm glad I did. Glad I did because they started to, you know, people started to lose money on it and everything after a minute. So not really lose, but they just the gains that they had drastically reduced and all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad I cashed out when I did, because I did get back in there. I ain't even gonna lie. Like right after I cashed out, I was like, you know what? Let me just purchase like about, you know what I'm saying? Let me get some more. And I purchased like 283 units or whatever. And I thought, I'm not gonna play this game because the short selling stuff, I don't like to watch that stuff that much. So I just like boom, cash right back out and just took a loss of like $6 or something like that and called it good. I said I'm done. But it was a good investment. So, you know, I made money, but I had to wait on that darn 1099B so I can pay the taxes on it and everything. And so that was my whole thing with the doge. But it was really fun. It was fun. Now, if that was something that I sat and did, you know, on a daily basis and it was something that was my passion, I can see it being fun, you know. But yeah, that's not me. I don't like to have to watch the investments like that much, right? Sorry, I don't like to have to watch them that much because I like to do too many other things because I'll mess up and lose too much money. Lose too much money. But sorry, a notification popped up on my screen just to remind me when I'm gonna be off work because I took I scheduled a day off for Friday because I know President's Day we're going to be closed on that Monday just so I can have a long weekend. And I think I might like, you know, I don't know, I might pamper myself a little bit. I'm thinking I have really weak nails, right? Really, really weak. They've been weak for years, but they've gotten weaker over the years because of the thyroid issues that I have or whatever. But I thought, man, I really want to try to strengthen them because when I say just pressing that, see that hurt, just to press my nail like that, I can feel a little pain. And I'm like, you know, and they pop, crack, and split all the time, and I have to keep them real low. So I'm not splitting them down the middle of my finger. So I thought, you know what? Let me go to this shop. It's this shop that I go to. Me and my daughter went. We had pedicures there. My Avon lady and her husband, they are some awesome people, but her husband plays Santa Claus every year. And so he was like, well, Santa Claus wants to give you a gift because you've been a good girl all year. And he looks like Santa Claus all year long. He is so cute. Anyway, he gave me a certificate for a free manicure or pedicure. So I chose a pedicure that day. But when I was there, I found out that they do this like little dipping stuff and gel stuff, powder stuff on your nails to make them, to strengthen them, and then they'll do the gel polish on top of them. They don't use glue. They don't file your nails down real, you know, deep and all that kind of stuff. And they're all about the natural nail and about them being healthy. I'm not saying their name on purpose because I haven't even talked to them or whatever. I don't know if they would even care, but I'm gonna find out if they mind if I mention their names and if they mind if I blog in their establishment, because they do share this this space with the salon owner. He has this huge, beautiful salon in there, and they have their section in there, and then it's a masseuse that's in there. But anyway, I'm going to see if they mind if I can bring you all along. But I'm going to do stuff like that on Friday. So and then probably just have a little lunch by myself just to treat myself and just enjoy just, you know, being off and all that kind of stuff, and preparing for our game day weekend with my family and kids and husband and all of that. So I'm getting all that ready. So that's what I'm doing then. That's what that notification just remind me of. But I am getting ready to go in here, try to eat my breakfast before I go to work. I may have to take it to work with me, and don't know if I'll be able to eat it before I can we have to open the doors. But I'm going to get off here. Just wanted to say again, thank you for my space. Thank you for coming to my channel. If you're new, and I should have said this in the beginning, I'll get better, y'all. I promise. And if I don't, I'm still going to have fun with you. But, you know, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, give me a like, and share this video with anyone and everyone. And I will see you all on the next video. Deuces.